Oh, good day, good day.
Looking tropical. Getting tropical.
How you going?
Good, man. How are you going?
Rocking the mo, mate.
Yeah, I've got the mad handlebar mustachio.
Baby face with a moustache.
Baby face.
Yeah.
Jeez, I like you. Baby.
I've got I've got facial hair envy. I can't even grow a moustache. I can't grow a good egg. I grew a goatee once. I thought, oh, I'll grow a goatee, and no shit.
The bass player. One of the
Every,
bass players.
well, no, I got like this long. But it was every single hair color that there is. It was blonde and brown and black, fucking orange and white and grey. It was like brindle. It was like a brindle statue.
I've got that in my mo, bro. I've got like orange, brown, grey, and then I've got a black and grey beard.
I saw this comment on a video the other day, and the guy's like, I didn't know I was a ranger until I grew a moustache.
I can relate to that. Fucking hell. Well, mate, it's good to have you here too. It's been a while since we've had a chat.
It's a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
busy. Gosh.
Fuck, I've been, we all got struck down. Me and my missus haven't been that well, and because we don't sleep that much, we do make a tendency to, get crook, and we've both been pretty hammered lately. And the bubba got a bit of a cold. It was good. The bubba got over it pretty quick. Yeah, there's something going around, man. Far out.
What do you reckon?
It's like I don't know. It's just an actual flu.
Something in the water?
There's
something in the water or what?
Wow, that's scary.
Isn't it interesting though? Like, because I did that show on Tartaro Australia. It was probably a month ago now, at least 3 weeks, and we called it "There's Watching the Water," I think it was.
Right.
And since then, I've seen so many videos with the titles like with water in them, like "Watch the water," "There's something in the water," blah blah blah. And then the latest one came out, and I was like,
yeah. Fuck.
But I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, man. I don't know. I filter all out.
I think the biggest energy from that, is the fear, isn't it? Like, the fear is probably worse than even if you actually drink it, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know.
I think if you start worrying, I was looking at we've got a big, awesome water filter and gets all the fluoride out of it. But you just I was looking at it the other night going, fucking hell, like, wow, these fuckers, it'd be pretty easy to do,
Well, in that video, there was a clip, and they didn't really explain it, but they showed someone holding a what do they call, like a pH strip under a tap.
Right.
Did you see that?
No.
And so if there's something in the water, surely there's some way that you can get something that you can detect it with.
Yeah. Well, mate,
surely.
I know my missus, our friend, got like the water tested around here a while ago, and they basically said, mate, there's all sorts of shit through it.
Don't drink it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We filter all the water. Look, at the end of the day, like you said, mate, you can only do so much, or you're going to live in fear, and then you won't drink, and then you'll have a.
Well, that's the thing. Then you'll die for sure.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. And there's got to be a point where we go, fuck it. I just, I'm not playing that game anymore, because that's all like we saw, right? After the 2 years, as soon as that started to wane, suddenly there's war, and then it's going to be something else and something else and something else, and it's like, well,
it goes on.
At some point you just got to go, it's all crap, and just get on with living.
Exactly. That's where I'm at, bro. And I think I had a really bad day. Was it yesterday or the day before? Like, I never get like, I'm always positive, bro, and always, and I woke up the other morning just, my missus was like, fuck, what is wrong? What is going on? Yeah, mate. So I took it very easy that day, and yeah, I got a bit of a time out to just go and sit in the park by myself, and have
You got kicked
go,
out of the house, didn't you?
go, and, go and get your
Fuck
shit
off and sort
together.
yourself out.
Go and get your shit together, because, mate, that's it. At the end of the day, no one likes a fucking whinger, and to sit around and feel sorry for yourself and mope. And that's what I mean. I don't have time for people like that. So I don't want to be one of them. But yeah, geez, man. I think it was just the everything catching up, like the relationship breakdown stuff that you have with some family and friends, all that sort of stuff. And then I think it was a build up, and I think that's happened to a lot of people in the last couple of or year, probably more so, or 6 months. Because that helplessness I feel with your the close ones that you want to just you go, look, I'm here to help, and all the stuff we talk about, I'd fucking love you to listen to it for 5 minutes, but they're gone with the wind, you know.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
that's what sort of got to me lately. Anyway, bro, there's heaps to talk about. Fucking hell, there's always a lot to talk about, mate. The thing I've been thinking about a lot, or it's been on a few things lately, like the underground, the tunnels within the realms beneath. Um, the vanilla skies, I've got a sort of little bit of a different outlook on it now, mate. I thought was interesting since that Phoenix event.
Okay.
I always thought photos could be, were just manipulated. They're cutting out the sky, they're cutting out the flying machines and all that, which I'd say have 100%. But what if with this Phoenix event that Archaics talks about, Jason, what if the sky actually just wasn't live like there was no sun for a period, mate, and that's what these photos are all, where the people haven't been released back into the realm yet. There's a few scattered around, and maybe that was just the remnants of the Phoenix event, where there's still no sun. Yeah, I've sort of been toiling with that idea lately, and
Yeah. So more like just a diffused light, because I guess that would, if you think about, the sun being a projection, from wherever, it could be from within or from without. There's kind of both theories out there.
yeah,
But obviously it needs to focus on a point, doesn't it, to form what we see as the sun. So if there's a big electromagnetic disturbance, you would think that would disturb that, right? And it would be like, and be out. So it wouldn't be focused. It'd just be emitting light, right? So, I mean, that would almost,
like
in my mind anyway, that would kind of explain that, right? It would still give light, but there'd be no sun.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be
absolutely, man.
focused
That's
in
a
a
really,
spot.
really good way to explain it, because
Yeah, right.
it's like,
It's
yeah,
interesting.
we are an electromagnetic system. We know that, yeah, that there's something's happened. The
I
dark.
thought
Sorry, bro.
I thought you were going to say that maybe it was to do with the radiation rather than the light. Like, if you can imagine, if there's a lot more radiation in the atmosphere, and especially with traditional photography, right, where they're using voltaic cells and like photography film and everything, which is exposed to it exposes itself for radiation, right? That's what because light is radiation. So if there's all this other radiation in the background, even if we can't see it, and that the photo might see it and pick it up, and that might be whiting out the skies. That's what I thought you were going to say, but then you came up with the sun. So who knows?
Mate, who knows? Yeah, it's just it's funny. You get to a point where you think the rabbit hole just can't keep getting any deeper. And mate, it's been funny lately. It's just like there's been a few channels opening up that are like not channels as in YouTube channels, but channels that are other things that are possibilities, you know. And and that's I always love that. You know, I hate getting that stagnant mind, and you just got to keep it going. And yeah, so these, you know, then after we watched that video, mate, the snake venom, huh? Well, what's in the water? And then
Mm.
the wow.
Yeah, well, that because that I mean, I didn't see it. That wasn't on YouTube, was it? I mean, I doubt it would.
Nah, that one wasn't on YouTube.
Right? Because I saw it on Rumble, and when I saw it, and I saw it about 3 days after it had been released, it only had 18,000 views.
Mm.
But everyone seems to have seen it. Oh my God, there's my cat.
Wow.
1 minute.
Over. There's my dog as well, barking her head off. Getting into it.
Sorry. I think she just realized my son's gone out. She's like, where are you?
Oh, no.
You were playing a song, were you?
I was having
bro. What was I saying?
God, what were we? We were talking about.
What were we talking about?
We went to the snake.
Okay.
We went to the snake venom.
Yes. The views.
Yeah,
there didn't seem to be enough views, and because everyone seems to have seen it.
Yeah,
like you go to YouTube and everyone's talking about it, and I want, and I haven't checked it on Odyssey, but I'm thinking Odyssey is maybe as big as Rumble, and then you add all the other things in. I mean, even if they add up to 100,000, that's not a lot of views for something that seems to have gone viral. So it just made me wonder, you know, like this is the thing, right? YouTube's dying, and so everyone's jumping onto Odyssey and Rumble, but are they fudging? It seems like they were fudging the numbers. I would think there would have to be hundreds of thousands of views on Rumble for it to, you know, to make sense.
Yeah, that's 100% right, mate. The censorship's just absolutely, I reckon it's hit a peak. Like my videos, bro, I was at the point I could watch my subscriber list go up pretty much. Like now, fuck, it's stopped, and it's actually gone the other way, and they're taking him off, fuckers. So
mine before.
Yeah, man. So now
I hit 50,000. Sorry.
No, you go. I was
going to say.
Well, you hit
a bit of a delay. Yeah, I hit 50,000 subs on Saturday, I think. And when I looked at it, it was like 50,300 and something, like 360 or something. Right. The next day, it was 50,200 and something.
Yeah, what a
and I've been watching it for a while, right? And every month I get it says I get at least 2,000 new subs every month, but it takes me like 3 or 4 months to go up 1,000 subs. It's just, so they're trying to tell me that I'm losing like 10,000 subs a month. That's the only thing that would make sense in the numbers. And so I went back through their numbers, and they're obviously going in and messing with them all, because because I did lifetime subs and it came up at the right number, because I'm thinking, oh, it should, you know, it's going to come up high. But and we're seeing it with Twitter, this whole, you know, Elon thing, and that's interesting what's going on there. But one thing that has come out is that they reckon it's 90% of the use or the accounts on Twitter are bots. Wow. 90%.
Jeez.
So just show everything's manipulated, like all the, you know, even with YouTube, these people that are getting all the views, you know, you look at the videos they're putting out, it's either just bubblegum for your mind or it's disinfo, and they get all the views, right? And they get a good living out of it.
Oh, it's insane,
and, you know, you start talking what they don't want to, and so everything's manipulated because those people probably aren't even getting the views. They're getting paid our money. That's what's happening. They're taking money off us and giving it to them. I think it's just,
yeah, man. Like we're like, it's funny because the other day on the street, bro, just walking around town, I don't even have. That's what I mean. I don't even have many subs, but it'd be crazy to know what I did have, you know. But I went 3 times in about 3 hours that I went out. The local butcher came up to me. He goes, bro, fuck, your videos are awesome, man. I've been watching your videos. Then I went in IGA and this young kid came up to me. He goes, oh, I saw your latest vid. It was a cracker, you know. And 3 people within that day had said something to me. That's just locally around here, you know. And then,
a small town,
in a small
yeah.
town, you know. And then, mate, I think it was that night or the day after, Santos did a post where he'd been banned, right? Me and him, you messaged me too, because you were like, Santos trying to get in touch with you, and you're trying to get in touch with him and just try to set up a, what do we say, like a Zoom or something else, because his messenger was down.
Skype,
yeah, Skype, get Skype going. But yeah, man. It's really
my Facebook, same thing. Like there was, I don't know what date it was about 2 weeks ago, because I don't really do Facebook, but when I use messages, so sometimes I go on to check my messages and I'll pass on a few memes and stuff, and I'd always get 20, 30 likes and 5 comments and stuff. And then I done it like a day, like 2 weeks ago, nothing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize I've posted away like every couple of days, and then I went and had a look, and like my last 10 posts, not 1 like on any of them.
Yeah. Fucking ass.
So my whole Facebook's just been completely like banned. I don't know. It's so
well, mate, they get when
I mean it's like forever. If they didn't have Messenger, I'd be gone. But
yeah. No, it was like the final icing on the cake for me when Santos put he said with Gary Walton in his Facebook post just to let me know that he was shadowed, like he was gone. And then from then it was like my account just was like and yeah, mate. So
oh, really?
Yeah. Well, that's when it just went
association, man.
Yeah, man. So I was like, fuck these assholes. And so if we're making these vids now, like they're just filtered, like I just did a video with Jeranism and made my vids where I'm, with Santos, and they always get good numbers, and this is like not even, it hasn't even hit 1,000, mate, and it's been like 2 weeks. It should be around 5,000 at least.
Well, especially with Jeren on it.
Yeah.
Because that's, people search for Jeranism. So yeah. This is the thing, like if I've got a website, I'm going to start getting a bit, maybe I'm going to, because I've got a website, but everything leads back to YouTube pretty much. But I need to start, we need websites so we can actually get real numbers of what we're getting, views of.
Yeah, man.
There are programs that do it. It would be interesting, but
well, YouTube,
I mean, in the end, we're getting it. We're a lot bigger than we know, right?
Sorry, bro.
We're a lot bigger than they tell us we are. We know that much as far as what we're talking about in the message, and that it's out there. I mean, we're starting to hit.
Yeah.
We're starting to get into the Patriots. They're starting to talk about all this stuff.
Wow. Well, mate, we can just keep spitting out these videos, and if it didn't hurt their little butts, if none of it was true, they'd leave us alone. So the more they do that, and people can see it, but I was just checking out Mo. Then it's quite.
You're digging it.
Far out, bro. Yeah, but yeah, mate, it's annoying. It's fucking annoying. And it
Mm.
sort of it slows you down a bit, I think, and that's what they want, you know, just that momentum,
Yeah, it
that
does.
momentum flow, you know.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and mate, with
No, I
the
was getting pissed off for a while, but sort of, I just decided the other day, I just decided, fuck this. It was kind of when I hit 50 grand, I was just, I mean, I was happy, but I was just like, I know that this should be like 75 or 80.
definitely,
Um, but
yeah,
you know, this is the thing. We can go, oh, they suck. Oh, they keep changing shit. And I just went, fuck this. I'm just going to work out the algorithm, and I'm just going to get I want to get 100 grand in 3 months, and I'm going to set a goal, and let's fucking just see if we can do it.
yeah,
I'm sure you can do it. Like, if you just got to work out the algorithms, not use keywords and stuff, and because especially with history, man, there's some channels out there, and you know they're talking about, you know, what used to, I guess, what a lot of people still consider alternative history. You know, like everything's way back in the past and aliens and all this kind of megalithic stuff.
yeah,
They get millions of views.
mm,
So we've just got to be smart, I guess, and use the
yeah,
right words, use the right
yeah,
headings,
yeah,
and just use the algorithm, you know, for ourselves. Like, and that's the best fun, right? Like sticking it to them, using their stuff against it. Like that's fun. So, yeah, I reckon we do. I'm going for 100 grand.
well,
Apart from the
mate,
fact
yeah,
that
I
that'd be
think I've got
nice.
to
Like,
change. Yes, I think like the language that I've, you know, a lot of us have used in my interview stuff, I don't ever edit anything. You know, I just upload it, the conversation. So, you know, maybe I'll just have to have a word to everyone before we start in the future, just to try to tone it down a bit so we can keep these videos.
yeah, just certain keywords. I mean, you know, we might even, you know, I mean, I use old world a lot. That, you know, I might start using that more. I don't know if they're onto Tartaria yet, but
Yeah.
well, I know they've changed Wikipedia. When you search Tartaria now, the first thing it says is it's a conspiracy theory, and then it starts talking about the country.
Yeah.
Well, not the country, sorry, the region.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they know about us. They're onto us. So I'm waiting for the first hit piece to come out, because CNN just did another hit piece on the, gosh, shall I even say it? I'll get you bad algorithms on the plane being horizontal and not bumpy. Um, You're gonna have to get like cue cards, and every time you have like your tuk tuk, instead of saying the words, just hold it.
Yeah, well, that's fun. They're not on
But
the.
yeah, CNN came out debunking it. You know, oh, it's all crap and people are just making these channels to try and make money, and because that's what you would do. You would start a channel to make money using terms that are the most banned on
Yeah.
YouTube, so you get no views. It's just ridiculous. But
It's ridiculous.
but
It's just fucking
well, I
hell.
mean,
Totally not in it for the money. Jesus
we're
Christ.
really starting to see it, aren't we?
Oh,
I mean, we all know it's a lie and it's fake and it's a show, but I think we're really, really starting to see like how ridiculous. Because this is the thing about waking up, right? You never wake up. You're always in a process of waking up. So, you know, it's like the more you know, you need to know.
yeah.
So, yeah, I think, and that we might even be feeling what's going through, you know, and I hope so, what's going through the mass consciousness, right? Because there's a lot of people waking up. Like I said, they're talking about history on all the Patriot kind of shows. I did the SGT report with Dave Weiss,
Yeah.
and I've heard him on like some of the other big channels, and they got a massive audience. And also the Realm, you know, I know there's at least one guy, I've forgotten his name. He's a definite flat earther. Maybe this will have to be your last uncensored video. So yeah, it's getting out there.
Yeah.
Scared of saying words, right? It's weird.
Well, mate, they've got nothing. That's the great thing. Like they've fucking got no game at all, and enough's enough, you know. And it's just like they've showed their cards. We're not dealing with smart, you know. We're not dealing. they're not smart.
No, they're not smart. But they're
They're
also not the ones pulling the strings. But
that's right. Oh,
but the one, yeah, but the brain at the top is just cunning, and it doesn't have creativity. So it's once you work it out, it's done, right? Because it can't change. It takes us to change, and if we refuse to give it our imagination, well, but yeah, I mean, we're just seeing how dumb these people are, like, because it's like the experts, right? All they know how to do is what they're told.
oh, mate.
All these people we're seeing, you know, we know they're all actors.
Yeah,
It's
it's like that Ali
know,
G movie, mate. When he,
just-
yeah, the Ali G movie when he goes, I'm just, when he finds all this weed and pornography, and he's like, I've got to bring the experts in, his mates, and they turn up in the lab coats. Where's the experts? Like, fuck
no, we'll
the
have to smoke all this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got to be careful, right? Because I mean, we don't even know what a woman is anymore, right? Apparently, you need a biologist. So.
Mate, and what is wrong with the main, I've got friends and stuff in Noosa at the moment. I live in a beautiful, most beautiful part of the world up here in Noosa. People come up here for holiday. I'm lucky to just 15 minutes drive. I'm in Noosa. And mate, I just watch these people on holiday, and it's like, I know their program, I know they all wear the same shorts, the same shoes, they eat at the same restaurants, they think the same thing, they talk the same shit. They're boring. They're boring people, mate. And I just watch them, and I'm like, fuck. I said to like Carly the other day, I'm like, babe, how about these people? It's just like, she's like, just give me 5 minutes, babe. Just let me enjoy my time. And I just yeah. Oh, mate, it's crazy, Yeah. So, mate, where I'm at now, I wanted to ask you this question, my man. What's going to happen to these Jabberwockies, bro? We're fucking 4 jabs in. Four
Wow.
rooster shots in, 4 rooster shots. We've had the jabbies, they're talking about venom. We're talking about this mechanical side to this technology, what the fuck is going to happen to these
kind of
people?
stuff.
What the fuck's going to happen to these people?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I think the first thing is I did a chat with Dave Weiss the other day, and he showed this chart, and basically he was showing if the top 4, producers of the jabby jab produced 1 a second. He sort of showed how much, 1 valve a second, and how much they produce. And then he goes, let's times it by 5. So they're all producing 5 of these every second. And it would take over 10 years to produce enough to get everyone done once. And they're saying people on their 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So the first thing is, I think those numbers, that they can't be true, that there's no way. Like our premier came out, and he was saying, at one point he said 90%, and then I think someone said, no, that's too far, and he's sort of gone back a bit. But they're trying to say it's like 80% in WA a VEED. There's no way. There's no way it's 80%. There's just not. It's so, yeah, that's the first thing. It's not going to be as many, but I mean, we're seeing it. It's already happening. Yeah. People are dropping everywhere, but they're not reporting it.
Yeah.
So and this is the whole thing, what's going on? Is that how they drop out of our reality? Or, I mean, how's this? I was talking to Howdy McCoskey the other day.
Yeah.
And he
I was watching a bit of that.
Talking about a book he read. Yeah. He's a smart man, Howdy. And there was this book, and this guy kept reliving his lives, but he could remember them. and so each time he'd remember it. But after he'd gone through these lives and he'd tried all these different things, he realized he wasn't, getting any better. He wasn't, going to ascension or anything like that, or he was just kept redoing the same thing. And then in one of the lives, he met this chick who remembered her past lives, and he was talking to her. And then he died. In the next life, he met her again, but she was like like an NPC type person, like couldn't, just normal. And so then he started thinking, is it the opposite? Are all these NPCs, are they the people who've already ascended and they just get replaced with bots, right? Maybe we're the ones that are lagging behind. Who knows? So what is another perspective, eh?
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, so all these, because they're multiplying, right? They seem to be multiplying. Is that because they're all people that have ascended already, and we're stuck down here?
Are we bad?
I mean, I don't like that.
No,
but it's good to think about. Thoughts are interesting questions.
well, mate, yeah. If these NPCs and so forth weren't just such dead shits, then maybe, like it's just I mean, very. Yeah, I don't know. Do they have to walk around
A lot of them,
animals and eating animals and vibrating in the gutter, and, jerking off?
it's yeah.
It's like a
Bunch of
sport,
jerks.
masturbation these days, bro, for men. I remember growing up, and it's so normalized. Yeah, there's the men are gone, mate. The power of men has been so sabotaged, left with such a shattered fucking vision of what men should be. And you've only, like I said, I've only got to go down Noosa to see what these guys are like. They're all fat. They're just right, like they have their coffee, and they can hardly, they go to the playground with their kids or whatever. They just sit there with their big guts hanging out. Then it's drink time. Anyway, they're out, mate. Does my noodling.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing. I know it's the dichotomy, isn't it? We could use a coal, but we don't want to be. I mean, I don't know. It's just such a weird time. I think we've really just got to focus on where we're going. What we want.
Yeah.
I think if one thing's provable, it's that at least our attitude, if not our direct thoughts, you could definitely prove that people's attitude creates the life they have. We know, right? Angry people have shit lives. Happy people have better lives. I mean, we know that. So that's what we've, and then obviously there's proof of, manifestation. So I think we just got to focus on what we want. Understand it's all a game. It's all a movie. It's going to get crazier. I mean, I stopped last year. I was saying in my videos, God, it can't get any crazier because this has happened. I threw that away about 6 months ago because it can definitely get crazier. It's the system's breaking down, and I think it's showing us that the system is a program, right? I mean, this is what happens when programs break down. They just start going haywire, and stuff's bleeping in and out and doing the wrong things, and then I saw this thing. There's a to do with the snake bites. It's a protein, I think, some kind of protein, and then it's called Biden Pelosi.
Wow.
Biden Pelosi, and it's to do with snake. It's a peptide or something.
Yeah.
To do with snake venom.
Yep.
I mean, we're in a. I mean, is that proof that we're in a simulation, that it's just repeating things because it's only got a certain amount of parameters and data, and that's why we see things repeat? Because this is what Jason talks about on archaics, is he looks for repeating patterns.
Yeah.
Cliff, what's his name? Cliff, that old dude, Cliff. He talks about it as well. Cliff White. I don't think it's White, but
not sure.
But yeah, so there's patterns in the matrix, so
that we
can see repeating. So if that's true as well, then I think we've just got to, use that to create something different, right? If we can see the program, surely we can change it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, man, just got to keep goal setting. That's one thing I'm big on, mate. Short-term, long-term goals. Just keep your long-term goals within about 3 to 5 years. Keep your short-term goals around 6 to 12 months. Once you fucking work out what you want, otherwise, mate, I was floating through my life for 25 years before I set any goals. You know, I'd set my boys up the other day. I go, what do you want? What do you want to do? You know, and that, mate, fuck, it's pretty scary when you can sit some, like, people have got to face their stuff. You know, like, otherwise you're just literally waking up every day. You're as bad as them if you're not setting goals. So, mate, set goals. Yeah, set goals. Find out what you want, and then, mate, get a diary. And then what you just got to do is every day just have a plan. And, you know, so I'm going to do this, that today. Those are my goals. And fuck, that's a life changer, mate, doing that. Everyone can do it, you know, and goal setting, I can't advise highly enough of that, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And this is the stuff we should be taught at school is, you know, when we plan for things, you know, then we get things done.
Oh,
that ain't so I used to do that a lot. And when you've got it all in your head, it's not sequential when it's in your head, unless you're like a severely left brain person. Like it's everywhere, right? So you do stuff, and I used to find myself when I'd start something, and then I'd get an idea, I need to do that, and literally then like 3 hours later, you go back and find something that you're halfway through, and it's like, oh shit, I was doing that, I better finish that, and so you end up with, you know, half your stuff not getting done. So yeah, I agree. It needs to be written down. I think another thing I've been doing a lot is like just saying, I don't agree. I don't comply to this. Like when things are going on that I don't like, I'm literally saying it out loud. I don't comply. This is crap. Give me something different. And I'm literally starting to speak to the universe. And I think, you know, we kind of, especially with culture and all this and tradition, we kind of think that we have to, you know, it's like they start off with the mask. I'm just wearing it so I don't cause a fuss. You know, people think they have to do things just not to cause just to get along. But I'm now, if I don't want it in my reality, I'm just like, I don't agree. I don't comply. Change it. Not into it.
No,
so I think
the whole thing. It's all contracts. Everything's a contract. You can either
contracts, exactly.
Yeah, and you can either address it or you can't. One of the best things you can ever say is, I don't answer questions to anyone, you know, and that's just
authority.
Yeah, any authority. You know, sorry, don't answer questions. What paperwork you got? Thanks very much. Leave it with me. Or what, you don't even have to do that. But so yeah, man, it's all contracts. Oh, I couldn't believe this is what I mean. When that penny dropped for me, when the geocentric realm, I knew what it was about. And then you find out about like common law and natural law. And so there must have been some good here at some stage. Like with the Tartarians, you know, mate, this is where I find it interesting with law, you know, and the common law. And if they've originally set it up with Freemasons in the beginning in the 1800s or whatever it was, when they took over the realm and colonization began, you know, so there must have been some good, like, people that have come up, like before the takeover, you know. So what, like the intention even for those, for like the Freemason side of it, I don't know, mate. Or because the common law was there. Like, this is like, what do you think about it, mate? I find it a little bit confusing, and you know, when you try to put things in like getting away, like a cyclical timeline rather than a linear. For me, it's confusing, you know. And like, what do you think about that in regards to timeline and law, mate? Like, and like, do Is there any,
But
anything
yeah,
you can
yeah,
elaborate with
law
that, mate? Because
was massive. That was the big change. I think that's how they reset things. That's one of their big tools, right? And so they've changed everything from law, LORE,
yeah,
right, to law, LAW, like folklore. We're folks, right? We're folks. We're folk. That's what they used to call people, folk. And now folklore, they try and tell us is something that never happened. And this is the whole scam, right? They say, oh, no, it's only ever been law. But if that's true, then how can we know we've got law of the land, right? We know we've got God's law and all these kind of things.
yeah,
So we also know that they, the water, right? The water people on the boats, and that's how they invaded everything. So they brought this is what they did. They brought their law, and after they, sort of destroy populations, because they have, obviously you can't go in and just introduce a law, right? People will tell you to get stuffed. So they have to go in and start wars and stuff and all this, and they reset populations, and then they give them the new law. This is now the law, and you're a slave, and as long as we believe it, then we are, but the opposite is true, right? If we believe that we have inalienable rights and we're the creation of the creator, and this is our realm, then that's true.
yeah.
So it's, the thing is with law is it's all, you've got to believe it, right? That's the thing. You have to believe it for it to be true, because we know a lot of people don't believe. And literally, there's people out there that will fight you on it. They go, no, law of the land is crap. I want to be a slave. There's only law. And so for them, there is no law of the land, because they've given it away. They can never go there until they change and understand that there is one. So it's literally what we believe is what law we live under. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they probably know already they're going to try, but I don't vote. I stopped that 10 years ago. I don't, because I don't consent. I don't consent to any of it.
No. Ever.
So, and they wrote me.
Yeah.
And I just said, prove that you're a de jure government, blah, blah, blah. I never heard back from them. So I get government stuff. I just ignore it. I just ignore it because it's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, this censorship they dropped. This was about 1.5 years ago when they brought all this rubbish, fucking lying stuff upon us, like everything else. But mate, trying to get us all to do this censor, and they said if you don't fill out these forms, it's $220 a day for every day that you don't. And mate, I've just fucking ripped it up and threw it in the bin.
Yeah. And what happened? Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, go and look up Finding Black's Law Dictionary. This is the other thing they do, right? It's sort of believing that like a mandate is something you must do or you'll be punished, and a fine is something you must pay. No. Go look up the legal definitions of these words. And this is the thing. And I think that's the best defense, is just knowing how they're talking to us. I think Tom Barnett is, obviously, if anyone wants to get into this, go check out Tom Barnett's channel. But
yeah,
that's the thing. You just got to know what they're saying to you, and you start off, I don't answer questions, and if you know what they're asking you in their terms, then you can't get tripped up. The whole trick is obfuscation, right? They're trying to get us to believe that something is something that it's not. And look what happens, right? You have people in shops going, it's a mandate, you can't come in. It's like, yeah, it's a mandate.
No, mandate.
Yeah. It's like, do you know what that means? It means it's a suggestion, you idiot. Great, I'm not into it. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm not into it.
Mate, I went down the restaurant the other night and I fucking saw a mandate. There's 2 guys and they were out mandate. Oh, they can shove their shit up their ass. Mate, this bottle shop down the road from me, this idiot that works there, I walk past, he's still got a mask on. This guy is white. He looks so unwell. And mate, it creeps me out. I'm just like, you fucking brain dead spasm, you know? And mate, that's where I'm at with
Yeah.
it. It's I have no. I said to someone, I went to the markets the other day and people don't know how to take me. My missus is just like, but you know, sometimes like I can be a bit of a handful for people when they meet me. I just spin them out.
Shut up,
I love it.
Gary.
Yeah, mate. But it's I choose my mark. But I just said to this lady who was just busking, and we had a chat. And I just said, you know that like 90, I don't know, 5-6% of people are just fucking a waste of time. And they just, and the looks on their face, they were just like, you can't say that about people.
Can't
No,
say
I know, mate. They're actually probably more 98. Yeah.
that. You're right. I can't. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, you know. So,
And this is the thing, right? This is what keeps people in chains is these, you know, these cultural ties and restrictions that you have to act a certain way. You have obligation is what it is. I actually did a good video on that on Spiral Up. If anyone wants to check it out, but it's obligation. It's what we believe we've got to do when we don't. I mean, they used to use obligation to get fucking young men to sign up to war and go and kill other people they don't know.
oh, think, bro, you get this
Obligation,
you get this opportunity to come into this realm, and they get these 18. Like, what absolute pieces of shit these things are, mate. To do that to young men, send them off to war, and kill each other.
Yep.
You know, we all, and then when
this is the other thing is. Sorry, you go.
I was just going to say, man, it's just like when you find out that like countries aren't even real, you know, and like they're all set up just to divide, and you know, it's all bullshit. Wars are lies, you know. Half of it's just there to destroy the architecture. It's like these poor guys, mate. You know, I would have been the first one to go, nah, flat feet. Definitely got flat feet. Yeah, very flat.
Yep.
And I can't run, you know. I'm going to go and die for you ass wipes. But yeah,
they used to even shame them. They had girls, if you didn't go, if you didn't sign up, they'd have girls that would go around and shame the dudes that weren't signing up to go and kill people, to go and murder other people. What did they put on them? Oh, I can't remember what it was. Was it a feather? I don't know.
Like a coward.
Yeah. There was some, I can't remember what it was, but it was a symbol, and we still use it as a saying, like that person's a coward. They're like scaredy cat, but it wasn't probably a cat. Maybe I can't remember what it was. It was a chicken feather. It was a chicken feather, and that's where we get the term chickens from. Yeah, exactly.
What's wrong,
but the other thing I was going to say is
chicken McFly. Chicken McFly.
Not a chicken. It's a cock. It's a cock feather, man. I listened to Michael Cesarian, the dude with the hard surname, Cesarian.
Yeah.
And he was talking about wars and saying that that's how they get rid of, you know, the best and the bravest and the strongest men, right? Because they're the first to go sign up for wars and they go and kill them all. And then you end up, you know, 200 years later with fucking, you know, spaghetti armed, you know, beings proclaiming that they're men when clearly they're not.
Mate, crazy. So, mate, how about, so one thing like I love thinking about, because we would have been, or maybe it's going to happen soon. So when they've re-entered these people into the realm, you know, in the 1800s, whatever it was, 1851, whatever.
Yep.
Earlier. These asylums, mate. So Australia, I don't know if I can share screen here. I might just see if it's possible.
It's on Levi touched on asylums last night.
Yeah.
He showed one, and it was the biggest building in America until they built the Pentagon. It's like, what?
Yeah, well, can you see my screen, mate? Is that my?
Yep. That's your
my-
email.
Yeah, I might just go a new window. All
Oh,
right.
we can look at your email if you want.
Yeah, I know there's a lot to see there now. It's very
Quite interesting.
Asylums Australia. I just did this little search before.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that video on Levy's too, mate. You know, and yeah, I mean, crazy like this. The Tartarian. Look at the size of these things.
Hang on. We can still see your Gmail.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, the whole thing's gone a bit funny, mate. I thought.
Change tabs. Are you on? Have you clicked on the right tab?
How's that?
Oh, obviously you'll see. Oh yeah, no, see that. Yep. Parkside Lunatic Asylum. Adelaide. What the? Really? Wow.
Yeah. So, mate, look at them. Like they're everywhere around Australia. So there would have been a lot of people, I reckon, who have just been like, injected into this realm and gone, "Fuck this shit," and then they just lobotomize them.
Yeah.
You know, and
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think, if we've been messed with genetically and they're like releasing us and they want a population that's controllable, right? I mean, they do it with farming today, or they have done over the last 100 years. You know, you breed out or get rid of the troublemakers.
Yep.
Like, because you don't want them to influence, and you definitely don't want them to breed and share their genes. So maybe that's what all this was, right? They release us in, and then they go around and everyone can think for themselves. They round up and lobotomize them.
Yeah.
And they were doing it to the women as well, to the unwed mothers. They were throwing them in these places, and like John said last night, a lot of them literally then got bought by the state and turned into jails, and the people in there just by default became prisoners.
Wow. How unfortunate. How unfortunate for those people. That's not a good
mate.
It's straight jacket. No. Like just look at these things, mate. Just in those old buildings, just wrapped up. Gaz and Campbell, here you go, boys. Stop making videos. Do you like this jacket, Campbell? No, can you see yourself in this one, bro? I wouldn't mind if my missus, I'd trust my missus if she put that on me, but that's about it. Yeah, mate, these asylums have been, it's a real scary, thought to ponder on,
Yeah, there was
copping a lobotomy here.
Conspiracies Are Us also put out. Oh my God, are you serious? There's a medieval lobotomy.
Yeah.
The evolution and devolution of mental health in Australia. Oh my God. Conspiracies. No, not Conspiracies Are Us. What are they called? I can't remember. Another
Mind Unveiled.
Unveiled. Mind Unveiled.
Yep.
Unveiled. Yep. Yeah, they did an asylum one as well, and that he was talking about this machine that they had, and it basically they filled it up with different odors, scents, things you could smell.
Yeah.
And then it was somehow they were putting like intention into it. And it goes back to like mesmerism, which used to be like part of magic, like mesmerizing people. And they use these different sort of smells plus their intention to like brainwash people, like, really, I think is what was going on.
Wow.
Because he was talking about this guy in a lunatic asylum. When he looked into him, because they never let him out, he was actually part of the resistance, and they were trying to like use this machine on like the overlords and overthrow them and stuff. And he ended up in a mental institution. And so it's exactly like you said, you know, this is how they were getting rid of, you know, dissenters, I guess, right? People who didn't agree with what they were doing. And in not a very nice way. It was,
No.
this is the thing, you know, at the same time, they were, you know, feeding their satanic bloody, you know, urges.
Yeah.
And I mean, how is it to get these buildings that would have been such good energy and high vibrations, and they just turn them into this? Like hell, literally hell on earth. I mean, what the
It literally would have been hell on earth, mate. And the debauchery that would have gone on back here, like this little kid in a box, you know. And the value for human life, mate, is so little. And that's one thing I knew at such a young age, mate. I was like, fuck this place. Like, this is, because I grew up in Sydney too, you see a lot of homelessness, you know, and we would drive. Mum and Dad would always go for a drive, and you go to the cross at night, King's Cross. It was always put up the windows, lock the doors. And I'm like 4, watching prostitutes, and drug addicts, and you know, and it's like, fuck, like, wow. So yeah, I knew myself, man, at a young age, and I think if people, if they're in complete denial, mate, a lot of people in this realm, my friend, or they're living in. I was thinking about this last night, bro. It's a consciousness thing. It's not an intelligence thing. It's a conscious, you know. And
oh yeah, it's not intelligent.
You know, yeah, and it's like these people.
So you go.
Right? We've got the demand. Yeah, no, I was the same, mate. Yeah, it's a real consciousness thing, and even it's just so interesting that it's there even within the families, who siblings, you know, who I've mentioned before, like myself, and there's many others out there, friends that, you know, can relate to this, guys, that, you know, your siblings grew up in the same household and they're like NPCs, mate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm fairly lucky, but I've heard so many horror stories. I mean, you know, my sister, you know, she pretty much said, "Oh, well, if I need to get it, I'm going to get it," but I haven't got it yet. And so who knows? But yeah, this is the thing. You know, what it comes back to, you know, why are we the weirdos, right? Are we the ones that are, you know, we come here to wake other people up? Are we the last crew trying to wake ourselves up? Like, I mean, the thing is, I think we're clearly different to, you know, clearly we're different to the system, and we're a threat to it, because look what's going on with all the censorship and everything and blah, 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 and we're the bad people. So, yeah, I mean, I think it all comes back again, just, it's all a story. I think the biggest thing is to try and not focus on it, you know. Like I don't obviously watch news at all, but, you know, we all want to know what's going on, I guess. I just watched, like, I've got a couple of like meme channels I watch, you know, and you kind of, you hear what's going on, but it's just a laugh, you know, you're not attached to it. It's not like, oh my God, they're so I think it's all the way that we perceive things. And as soon as you get into fear, like you're done. As soon as you get into poor little me, you're done. Like,
Sure.
I mean, because I worked it out at a very young age that, you know, people do stuff like all the time, all day long, and then they do it again and again and again, and they do these things without thinking of what the result will be. And then they get the result, and most of the time they don't like it, but they just do it again. It's like, so I think, you know, we've just got to, you know, think, what are we doing, and where's it going to get us? You know, so you were talking about goal setting. It's like, where's it going to get us? You know, sure, we can sit there and we can be the smartest person and repeat to everyone that we know exactly what's going on, and we know who Zelensky is, and we know who Biden is, and we know about the laptop, and we know all these details. But where's that going to lead you? Where's it going to get you? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean for your life? If you follow that path, where are you going to be in 5 years? And is that where you want to be? And this is the thing, because it's all distraction. And I guess goals is probably a good place to start, right? Bit of direction, and that way you can pull yourself back when you hear this stuff. Well, is that taking me to where I want to go? Which I guess is probably the main thing, right? It's like you said, people don't know where they want to go.
No one does, bro.
So
Like no one, unless you're asking yourself, what the hell do I want? But not just like, what do I want to do, like in the short time frame. And if anyone out there wants to talk to me about this, man, like fucking give me a message, because I've changed my life, bro. I've had a few times in my life where shit's just gone down, and for different reasons. We've all got shit that goes on, but there's been a few things that have taken the wind out of my sails, and you've just got to keep I'm not a sailor, but mate, you got to get out there and let the sail out, and oil up your mast. Don't take that the wrong way.
Brilliant.
But yeah, man, it's you just got to keep. Hey, that's what they want. Like it's like the blokes that have you've gone bankrupt, and then before you know it, they've got another venture on the go, and they're doing it, and you can speak to something. You've been bankrupt like 4 or 5 times. It's like, yeah, because they just don't give up. That's just one example. But never, like you just can't. And now more than ever, bro, that's why even with what we're doing with the truth, mate, we've got to push even harder and keep making awesome vids. And, because, and like with the goals, mate, like, and what I want to get into, more of a, for which we've spoken about too, bro, is, the education side of things. Now, if we can really, get people educated and away from these, look, your brain camps are all the people. These, idiots are always going to send their kids to schools like the government schools and not even question it. But there's a lot of people out there looking for alternatives, mate, and don't know what to do with their children. And so it's a real opportunity, I guess.
I agree, and
for us to get out there and help people and help them, with everything. That's the cool thing, man. Like this is it's an exciting time, and I guess that's the way to look at it. Like these assholes have had the run of it for a good while now. It's all tits up. And let's change the world, mate. I say.
Yeah. I agree totally. I don't like to lose, and I definitely don't like to lose to assholes.
That's it, man.
So I'm not giving up. That's my main motivation. Is like, I'm not lazy. You lose. But this is the thing. It's and it's the focus thing again, right? And the energy. We can look at this as bad, and oh my god, this is when we've had this and we've had this, and well, we can go, well, shit, what an opportunity, right? And we're the first out of the gate. Everyone else is still trying to, rebuild or reclaim a world that's dead and won't come back, and we're already building the new one. So we're going to be on the top anyway. We're going to be at the front.
Yeah.
And we've got everything we need. This is the thing, like all this information that we've been learning and, over the last, however long, 5, 10, 20 years, lifetimes, it's now all relevant, right? We used to be learning it going, wow, what's the point? No one listens. Well, this is the point, because we needed to get it to here. Yeah. And now we've got everything. We've got everything we need. And the best thing is none of it involves a system. None of it involves Babylon. None of it. And actually the opposite. it's all gonna, and none of it would work under that kind of a system. Like we've got everything, you know, we've got, we know how to grow food, we know how to make medicine, stay healthy, and you know, educate children. We know all this.
Yeah, man, and that's it. And our biggest thing is, you know, people, that fear of the unknown, you know. Mate, no one likes change. I realized that from a young age. Humans, a lot of humans out, but the ones that can accept change and embrace it, you know. Comfortability is a really shit thing for humans, mate. You know, I'm just sort of speaking off tongue, but like comfortability can really, you never want to get too comfy, you know. And look, we all love our comforts, but I just mean that comfortability of that, you know, I need this and I've got to come home from work and I sit down, I have my 4 beers, and then I need this, and then I go to bed, and then, you know, 50 years go by and I retired and I do gardening.
Yeah. Yeah, because
that's
I've got one.
Yeah, that's a man's
But
life.
the more comfortable people are, the more, you know, it's that they're so easy. Like that dude with the 4 beers, all you need to do is go into his house one day, take his 4 beers, and he'll lose his shit.
Yeah,
he won't be able to bloody operate if he doesn't have his 4 beers after work. So I'm the way I approach that is, I mean, see, I'm very right brain, but I'm also practical. I somehow got the practical bit of the left brain. I always look at what was I going to say? If you're going to do something, you don't know what the outcome is. You just don't. Like, think about, like, you just don't. You don't know what's going to happen. There's no way you can know. So you have a choice. You know, because you're going to expend energy thinking about it. So you have a choice. You can either focus your energy on, oh my God, this could happen, it's going to be bad, this could go wrong, and get yourself stressed out. Or you could spend your time visualizing it, going, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And, you know, that's probably time well spent. But I just spend my time like, well, I can't affect it. So whatever energy I put into it is wasted energy. So I'm going to focus on something else until I'm there. That's my attitude. And then it's exciting, right? It's something new. It's something, who wants to go through a life that's defined, you know? But I mean, the other thing is always, you know, it's like I was saying, people do things and they get a result they don't like, and then they do the same thing again. You know, people visualize, oh, this is going to turn out bad, and they get there and it might turn out bad, or it might turn out, but it never turns out the way they thought it would. But then the next time they start visualizing things are going to be bad again. But they've just proven to themselves that what they believe isn't true. So it's, yeah, I don't know. I think logic has a, you know, and logic's almost got a bad name, hasn't it? But, you know, logic's very important. That's a very, you know, and that should be a base. It should just be a subconscious base level thought. It shouldn't be something that we need to focus on, but clearly no one's been taught logic, right? They just don't, you know,
No,
people just don't think
think
things through. They don't extrapolate. They don't.
I just think we've been bewildered. You know, I just think, you know,
That as well.
like so many people are so lost. And, you know, it's literally the spell casting, you know, the broadcasting that they're casting their spells through Hollywood and television, all that stuff. But mate, these people don't stand a chance, you know. And the most fascinating thing I find out about it is, how did we slip through the cracks, mate, you know? And all our viewers out there.
Well, I was just going to say, if they don't stand a chance, how did we? How did we stand a chance? Like, I mean,
yeah,
you know, I don't know.
I've copped it my whole life in every situation, though. Just now I know what it is too. It's an energetic thing too. Like, I've always, I remember I did a basketball camp when I was like 13, mate, at school, and every kid, there's like 150 kids there. They all got an award. And I was pretty good back then. Like I used to play for, like for that doesn't matter, but I went all right. But I'm just saying, like you'd want to make kids, encourage them to keep playing the game and all that sort of stuff, So I went to this camp. Every kid, I watched them get an award, mate, and then it wasn't by accident. There was no Gary Walton, there was no thank you, Gary. In school, mate, it was like every teacher fucking hated me, it was like I just because
Yeah, we've
it's
got
just not the system, and
sign on our head. Hmm.
yeah, you
Yeah,
really
they
got
say
a
this.
sign and your head, mate, and if you don't suck up like I could never work out the guys that suck up to teachers, mate, and like they want to be the teacher's pet, and like I just couldn't. Anyway, like it's classic. It's a real this story that we're in, this live movie that we're in, like 1984, it's 2020 now that the movie's called. They've just renamed
Mm. They
1984.
just renamed it.
Yeah,
Yeah, part of the re-release.
re-released. And like the
Yeah,
start of that movie
yeah.
when they're broadcasting and all the people are chanting, yo, yo, yes, 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 government, yes, government. These people just still chanting, and um,
Yeah,
that's
this is
their
the
problem.
thing. Um, yeah. Well, they always will, and we thought that was crazy. And now in New York, they've released the mandates, and there's people protesting, saying, "No, you've got to keep that thing on your face."
Oh, fuck.
Like literally protesting to say you can't stop, you can't say that people can't wear it. It's bizarre.
Wow.
But I think in the end, I mean, we don't, it's the same as like I was talking about. If you've got somewhere to go and you're sort of thinking, oh, it's going to be bad or whatever, and you don't know, right? So the thing about other people and people on TV, and we actually don't know if they're real, if that's a story. I mean, we've seen so much footage of staged events, staged news, staged everything. We know what the movies are. So yeah, just don't attach to it. I think just think, oh well, fuck, that's a movie.
Yeah.
It's the big thing is if you can go through and not judge things as right or wrong and just go, oh, that's interesting, then it doesn't, you're not emotionally attaching to it,
That's where I go
and
wrong.
it just means,
So emotional. I'm very emotional. I'm not. And
yeah,
it pisses me off, mate. It's just,
it
it's,
does, yeah.
yeah, just when you see your
It
family
took
and
me a
friends.
long time.
Yeah, mate, your family and
Mm.
friends, you see them all like 5 Jabberwockies in now. And mate, we know that it's not doing them any good. And surely they do by now, but more importantly, it's the love that we have for our family that the government doesn't have, and they've been so dismissive of these people, and we're the ones like we're the ones that love these people, and you're going, don't fucking do that, like it's fucked, and they're like, yes, got the crazy eyes, yes, it's crazy. I remember though I said to we still going there? You there, bro? I think you're frozen. I think we've lost Campbell. You there, brother? Might have to pause this and hopefully. I think he's gone. Hey, might put in waiting room now. I might remove him and see if he'll come back. Oh no, he's gone. All right, so I'm going to stop that there now, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this today. We've had a bit of a ramble. It's been fun as always. And on Campbell's behalf, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. And on my behalf, I'd like to thank Campbell. And on our behalf, Campbell and myself, thanks to everyone for chiming in, and I hope you're all well, legends, and have a great one. We'll speak to you soon.